And we are back on the build phase. I'm your host, Mr. Ben, and today we are going to be looking at some more Dice Throne World Cup action. This is going to be a matchup between myself, the build phase detectives, and Argon Jedit's team, the White Lies. The opposing lineup is Curse Pirate, Pyromancer, Artificer. My lineup is Curse Pirate, Artificer, Shadow Thief. We both banned each other's pirates, so getting here into game one. Now, this was actually our second attempt to play this game. The first time we were defeated by technological gremlins that did not want to allow us to complete the game. And in the first game, I actually won the dice roll and got to go first, which is a really important part of this matchup. And as you can see here, as we're rolling for initiative, I do not win the dice roll. So starting off, not going first in this matchup feels pretty terrible. These are the two highest damage output characters in the game. This matchup is very much a race. Both of these characters kind of play not the same, but similarly in that they don't have very good defense values. They do a ton of damage, and they require the management of a sub-economy. Fire Mastery in the case of Pyromancer, and Synth in the case of Artificer.
Upgrade Power Blast 2.
All right, so here on turn one we have White Lies upgrading their Pyroblast 2. So one of the big reasons you want to
I'm
go
going
first
to
with Artificer
sail,
is you want to make sure that you're
2
able to
for 1
use
CP.
your starting synth.
And then I'll roll. Uh, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4. Let's keep 2, 3, 4.
Chasing a straight here, it looks like.
2, 3, 4, 4, 6. In that case, let's keep 2, 3, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That'll
Not
get
what
you
I was
there.
going for, but I guess an ignore is okay. I'll attempt to lock in a large straight.
You got it, man. So this Ignite is not going to end up being a ton of damage.
All right, that's 2 Fire Mastery. It is 8 defendable damage coming your way.
I mean,
All right,
8 is
I'm gonna
nothing to
throw my
sneeze
4
at,
dice.
but Ignite gets much more dangerous the more
All
Fire
right,
Mastery the
so
Pyromancer has.
I'm going to gain 1 synth and inflict 1 nanite. And you said it was 8?
So right here, I'm feeling okay.
8 defendable, that's right.
All right.
I'm going to end up having
So that'll
5
leave me at
synth going into
42.
turn 1. I can fully upgrade a bot. That feels pretty good.
All right. Then going to sail. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
Go to 2 CP. Spend it both. Play what status effects on you?
Wah, wah, wah. This is devastating. This is exactly why Artificer wants to go first so badly.
And I will
Because
pass with no CP
getting that
and no
starting
hand.
3 synth back is so much harder, especially early in the game when you're kind of scrambling and you don't have anything online. That is a tier 1 destroy the Pyromancer move coming from White Lies there. So normally Artificer struggles a
I'm
little
gonna play
with
Ooh Shiny.
CP, but fortunately getting paid on
Roll
turn
a
1
3.
kind of helps offset that a
So
little
I'll
bit.
gain 2 synth.
The Ooh Shiny was also critical to being able to restabilize for me. This was tough though, because if you build the bot here, then you don't have any synth to pay to use the bot unless you roll something that allows you to generate synth. So
We'll spend 2 synth to build a basic shock bot.
puts me in a real tough spot as far as
Going
trying to stay in
to-
the damage race here on turn 1.
Going to roll phase. 3, 4, 4, 4, 6.
Now this
I'm going to lock in schematics on draw 1.
this is the
or
kind of
roll
turn
one,
where you
rather.
want to play schematics. Turn 1 is a great time to do it. Get
No
it out of the
CP,
way.
no cards.
Oh,
Nothing I
yeah,
can
of
say.
course. You're
Draw
right.
those extra
Sorry.
cards now. Stack up on those resources before there's a real nasty health differential to have to contend with.
Draw 2 and gain 4 synth. Second main phase, I'm going to spend 3 to go down to 2 CP and play Ratchet Up. I am going
Out of
to
all the upgrades on the Artificer board,
Sell
Ratchet
Nanite
Up is
Assault.
probably the most important
go
one.
back up to 3 CP. I'm going to spend 2 to build a basic heal bot. And then I'll spend 3 to upgrade that heal bot.
So my thinking here is
And
this is a race, and if I can put some hurdles in front of my opponent, potentially that'll give me enough breathing room. So getting the heal bot upgraded over getting the shock bot upgraded is how I prioritize that, and that's the thinking is if he attacks me with a defendable attack, I'll generate some synth, and then I'll be able to make sure that I can get some healing out of the heal bot starting on turn 1. Maybe that'll give me the edge. That was the thinking there.
Off. Gain a CP. Oh, going to roll for Nanite, which hangs around. Gain a CP, drawing a card. And I'll go to roll phase. 1, 2, 2, 5, 6. I'll just stick with what I rolled there and try to lock in Power Blast 2.
Doesn't feel good, but what are you going to do?
um
This kind of activation probably isn't worth spending
Sure.
a dice manipulation card to mess with.
All right, rolling the riders. Oh, wow. They're both flames. So 4 fire mastery and 6 defendable.
4 fire mastery and 6 defendable. Okay, well, defend I shall.
That's a lot of fire mastery.
Do you want me to re-roll the one that bounced out? How do you want to handle that?
Up to you.
So generally speaking, if it bounces out, I'll re-roll it. But my opponent's not even using a dice tray, so as long as it stays in camera, I opted to just keep it.
Okay, that's fine. So that'll be 1 damage back, a synth, and a nanite. I'm going to play Not This Time and prevent 6.
Such an important card.
And what was your total incoming?
6, you take none.
Okay. I guess I can still activate my heal bot, correct? Because there's 6 incoming until end of phase.
That is correct.
So I'll activate the heal bot, and I'll heal for 2.
All right.
This matchup was the first time I used this new camera, and it chases focus a lot. I don't like
And pass turn.
that. All right.
Draw a card. Gain a CP. Gain a synth.
So this right here is the wrong order. The synth gain is supposed to
I
happen.
don't think
at
either
the
of us
top
are as
of
off to
key.
as good a start as we were in our first game.
No, man. Although I will say your turn 1 made me long for turn 1 2 weeks ago. Going
I think
roll
you're still in
phase.
pretty good shape.
So I do have the habit of drawing, gaining a CP, then gaining my synth, and later in this game that's going to become relevant, but that is the wrong order.
Nice recovery there.
Holy smokes. I guess I'll chase a 6. Okay. I'll still attempt to lock in overclock.
Good to activate.
This
Okay.
would have been
So that's
a really
6,
bad play
and then I'll
if I
activate
didn't also have a
my
6 in
basic
hand.
bot to turn it into 9, and then I'll
At this
activate
point,
my
I felt
heal
like I
bot.
could use all 3 rolls
heal
to
for
chase
2.
chase the ultimate, and even if he had a helping hand or something, I had the ability to make sure I didn't end up with a wipe. Or a whiff,
Good
rather.
deal.
Second main phase.
Now, this does touch on something that's going to become a theme in this somewhat unusual Artificer game for me, and that is bot activations without having to pay synth for them.
I'm gonna spend 2 CP, and I'm gonna play what status effects and wipe your board.
Turnabout's fair play. Now it does suck a little
Turnabout
bit
is fair play.
to let the nanites go,
And then I'm gonna
with that,
pass.
but that was a whole mess of Fire Master.
All right.
And
Jeez,
between
what a
Nothing to resolve.
What status
uppercut
effects
filled,
there?
like back and forth.
and the I'm trying to like the not this time last turn. It essentially erased Argon's entire last turn.
Longing for our first game.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We got 2, 2, 4, 4, 6, 6, or 6. What do you do with that? My goodness, that's ugly.
2, 2,
Guess
4,
I can
4,
attempt
6,
the
6,
Power
huh?
Blast since you got rid of all my Fire Mastery anyway.
Gonna get your money's worth out of that Pyro Blast this game.
Yep, I'll attempt Power Blast 2.
All right, man. Go for it.
Gonna roll the Riders. That is 9 damage and 2 Fire Mastery.
All right, so 9 damage coming at me. I'll toss my defense. Try to keep him inside the bounds of play this time. So that's going to be 1 damage, 1 synth, and 1 nanite. And then I'll spend a nanite to the heal bot.
Synth, you mean?
Oh, yeah, a synth for 2.
Yeah, you can't
and I'll
spend
spend a
nanites.
synth to the heal bot for 2. So that'll take 4 off your 9 incoming, was it?
So you're taking 5.
So this getting lucky on defensive rolls was a big part of this game too, without a doubt. Healbot
All
put
right.
in work.
Actually, I'm
I
going to
bet on
spend
Healbot
1
early in this
CP
game.
to go ahead and add Huzzah,
Sure.
which I'll roll to see what that does. That is going to add 3 more damage.
All right, I'll take 3 more damage, which will put me at 40.
So 40 to 39 at this point in the race, we're still neck and neck.
And then I'll pass turn.
All right, so I'll gain a coin, draw a card.
So I still felt very,
Gain a
very
synth.
fragile. Normally by turn 3, I like to have a mess of synth. I like to have an upgraded shock bot. Like this game is just
Throw
not
my
going
dice.
according to anything that I would plan in my interactions with Artificer.
2, 2, 3, 4, 4.
Sure feels like there's a Eureka there.
Gonna hang on to 2, 3, 4.
Chase him straight instead, I guess. Nope, there's a Eureka.
I'm gonna present for Eureka.
So Eureka is one of those
You are
powers
good to activate.
Okay,
really
so I'll have
helps
3
out
synth
in
incoming.
this specific situation because I generate the synth here, which I'm then able to spend to the shock bot. And while 2 is worse than 1, obviously, I'd prefer to have an upgraded shock bot. That's still 10 defendable damage, while I also made progress in trying to juice my sub economy.
1 Fire Mastery and deal 3 back. And I'll take 10.
Now, as you can see here, the Pyromancer is much more adept at dealing damage back on the defense than
Second
the Artificer
main
is.
phase.
So that's certainly an area where the Pyro has an edge in this
Not
matchup, is
gonna do
punishing me
anything.
for
Go ahead.
attacking.
All right, cooling off. Rolling for this nanite.
He almost said
Hangs
so.
around. Income. Draw a card. Let's roll some dice. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's a decent start.
Yep.
Even if he doesn't roll anything else,
Mm,
you're still
I'll
looking
just
at
stop there and attempt to activate Hot Streak.
7, 9
Hot
damage.
streak on roll 1. You got it, man.
It's roll 2 actually, if that makes a difference.
Good sportsmanship there. I'm
'Cause
gonna
I
call that
re-rolled the
out.
5th die.
He was under no obligation to tell me that he was on his second roll. That is information that could have changed how I wanted to make my choices, and I really appreciate seeing that kind of good sportsmanship like making sure that your opponent has all the information that they're entitled to. Very cool.
That's no problem.
Okay, so it looks like we have 1 damage coming back at you, and 2 nanites. Then I'm going to spend a synth to Healbot for 1, and I'm going to spend a synth to Healbot for 1. So
Not a
I'll
great
end up
Healbot turn
taking
there.
7, unless you have further effects.
Not this time.
I wish I had not this time.
You've already played yours.
I know, but wouldn't it be cool if I had another one?
It would be. That
If
card is
I
arguably
could make a 32 card deck of not this time, I would.
Yeah.
Second main, I do nothing. I will pass the turn.
Okay. I'm going to draw a card. I'm going to gain a CP. I'm going to gain a synth.
wrong order again.
And then I'm going to roll some dice.
It's raining 6s.
Okay. 3, 4, 6, 6, 6. I guess if I do it like that, is that the
That's
time
sweet
signature?
siren song.
Yeah. I don't think that song's actually in 3/4 time, but it was a funny joke.
Tried to make a music nerd joke there. Did not
Or it was
totally
an attempt
land.
at one, rather. Gosh, do I chase 6s? That feels pretty bad.
Generally speaking, I do not like chasing 6s in this situation. Not at all. But I'm sitting on some CP. And as I mentioned before, the last time I committed to
4,
an
4.
overclock and maxed out my rerolls, I've got a few things in my hand that can
Okay.
really bail me out if I get into trouble.
I'm going to play samesies for overclock.
So this is the second overclock,
You're good to
which
lock
is going to be
in.
the second time that I
Alright.
can activate 2 bots for free.
So
if you're
6
keeping
defendable,
track,
but I'll activate my bot to
That's
make it 9,
6
and then I'll
free
activate
synth
my heal bot
worth of activations that I've gotten off
for
only 6s.
healing of 2.
That's pretty significant.
So 9 coming at you.
That more or
9
less
undefendable,
connects
sorry.
to,
I've already
if not
taken.
fully making
Okay.
up for the deficit that
I went
Argon
ahead and
put
took
me
it.
in on turn 1.
And second main phase. Your turn.
All right. Let's roll these nanites. They're all going to hang around. Let's cool off.
I'm going to start calling that the Counting Crows.
CP and a card.
Somebody has 3 nanites and they all hang around on the corner,
Let's go ahead and pay 2
hanging around this whole town.
to upgrade my hot streak. And let's go into the roll phase. 1, 1, 2, 5, 6. I guess with that, I might as well just take Power Blast 2.
Sure, man.
Another Pyroblast.
All right,
Certainly
let's
getting your
roll
mileage
some
out of that
riders.
upgrade.
We got double flames, so it's 12 defendable damage incoming.
12 defendable. All right, I'll throw my dice. I am going to play better D, and I'm going to throw back all the wrenches.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so then my defense roll will be 2 synth, 1 nanite, which fizzles, and 1 damage.
I wanted as much synth as I could get.
All right,
That's
taking
what I
the
was trying
damage.
to do.
Then I'll spend 1 for the heal bot, take 2 off. I'll spend another synth for the heal bot, and take 2 more. So 4 off of your 12, so that's 8. Is that correct?
That's correct.
This is my new habit, is always trying to, like, maybe not always, but as often as
second-
possible,
Alright,
trying to make sure
second
that me
main.
and my opponent are in agreement.
I do
On
nothing past the
Any
turn.
health dial movement.
Draw a card.
Just little efficiencies of trying
Gain a
to
CP.
play a cleaner game over
Gain a
webcams.
synth. I'm going to spend a CP to play the card I just drew and play double up and draw 2 more cards.
You're drawing all the best cards.
Drawn so many cards.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. I'm going to sell Jolt.
So as I remember
throw
it
some
here,
dice.
I was starting to feel a little bit more
Okay.
confident. Not like I'm where I need to be, not like I'm
So we
safe,
got 1, 2, 3, 3, 4.
but the
Oh, isn't
panic
that funny?
of the
Jolt's
turn
like,
one,
you sell me? All right, here you go.
the panic of the turn one, what status
Yeah.
effects has definitely like started to
Really
fade.
care about that nanite.
It is funny that I sold the small straight upgrade and then immediately rolled a small straight.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna take what the dice have given me. Is it gonna be a 5? It's not. Okay, I'm gonna take what the dice have given me here on 2 rolls and present a small straight.
Not a strong attack.
You're good to lock in.
Okay, so I'm gonna gain a synth. I'm gonna inflict a nanite, which fizzles, and then there's
2
7
wasted
incoming
nanites
damage coming
now.
at you.
All right,
I don't
rolling
have
my
a nanobot
defense.
built.
That'll be 1 damage back to you, 2 fire mastery for me.
You said 1 damage.
And then I assume a shot pot.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna activate Shockbot here.
Okay, so just the 7. then.
Just the 7. Second main phase, I'm gonna pay 2 to build a basic nanobot.
That's why I'm not activating Shockbot, because I need the synth for the nanobot.
Okay.
Normally activating
and
Shockbot in every opportunity is absolutely
That's
the
it.
way to go.
That's all I'm gonna do. Your turn.
But those nanites represent 5 extra damage. The Shockbot only represents 3 extra damage. So that's the calculation I did in my head there.
All right, let's roll for some nanites. They'll all hang around. Let's cool off. Income.
So I imagine at this point the Pyromancer's feeling a lot of pressure.
Roll some dice.
Like, they certainly have the ability to burst me out of this game, but the health total's starting to get really
2,
low.
4, 5, 5, 5. Let's re-roll 2 of the 5s. 1, 1, 2, 4, 5. Let's re-roll the 2 1s. 2, 4, 4, 5, 5. That's not good. I'll spend 1 CP to 6 it. Sorry, 6 it. One of the 4s. And then present combustion.
So this presents a pretty significant threat. You can do potentially 12 undefendable damage here. Which is...
So you've got. Let's see. Those are the 4.
What I'm doing here is looking over the Pyromancer board. Like, I know I want
Dice. So it's the 2 5s that you've got 2 of.
I know I
Okay.
want to disrupt this ability, but I'm having to look over the board to make sure I don't disrupt this ability and change one of his dice, which then in turn gives him some other activation. So that's the calculation I'm going through here. You can, in the footage, you can kind of see me leaning over to the side looking at the Pyromancer
Yikes!
card.
These are all bad options, huh?
Anytime I play over webcam, I always have my opponent's board off to the side, so that way I can check numbers, read stuff for myself without having to ask.
I'm gonna I'm gonna play tip it, and I'm gonna tip your 4 up to a 5.
Have a burning soul. A hunk of burning soul.
All right, then I'll do a 3 damage burning soul.
So the 3 damage
I'll
means
take
I
3
don't get
damage.
to activate heal bot, which is a bummer, but 3 is much
And that's
Cap out
collateral,
the fire
right?
master.
Yeah, so I don't get to defend.
Second main, I do nothing. I will pass the turn.
Okay. I'm gonna draw a card. I'm gonna gain a coin. I'm gonna gain a seed or a synth. I'm gonna spend 2 during my upkeep to the basic nanobot to blow up your nanites for 5 damage.
And this is where it comes up. So again,
All right, just as
a
a point
of
of
priority here. Now Argon is fine. He lets this go through. I've done it the same way every time, but he points out that I should have gained the synth before I draw a card, before I gain a CP, and if I want to activate a nanobot, I have to spend the synth before I draw a card, before I gain a CP. Sure. So, I've been doing that wrong literally the entire time I've been playing Artificer.
I'll clean my play up. I thought of that all scrunched together, but you're absolutely correct.
So, fair to call that out, but I also appreciate
okay,
that
so
he
main
understood
phase.
this wasn't
I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to throw some
necessarily
dice.
like nobody's trying to win
Alright.
based on like getting somebody on a technicality or timing error. Like we're playing legit games.
I'm
here.
going
Good
to present a
sportsmanship.
turn. I'm
Eureka.
gonna roll
Entire
one Eureka.
series.
Yeah.
Yep. Nothing I can do about that.
So 3 synth. 7 coming at you.
All right, rolling defense.
The question is, do I want to spend synth here to add more
I would
damage
do
to it?
4 damage back to you
Using
and
the shock
gain
bot,
a
or-
fire mastery, but I'm capped out.
Do I want to camp out on that synth to make sure I can have heal out activations?
I'll then spend my last CP to play not this time
Okay.
and reduce it to 1 damage.
Such a frustrating card.
I'll pay 2 to the shock bot to add 3 to it.
I'll take 4.
Second main phase. I'm not gonna do anything. Go ahead.
So this is scary.
All right.
This is
Cool it
extremely
off.
scary.
Income.
I'm 100%
You're at 6 fire mastery.
within kill ability, like kill range.
No, I'm at 4.
4. Okay.
I was at 5, which is the cap, and I cooled off for 1.
So as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, what are the chances of getting a draw? I'd have to roll. I wouldn't be able to do it with my defense roll. Even if I get the 1 damage, that's on 1. It's not stackable. I don't have anything else that's going to let me deal damage back to him. So this really just comes down to how am I going to survive this turn.
1, 3, 4, 4, 4. Pretty much have to kill you this turn.
Yeah, and he could too. Like the rolls exist.
Don't really
for
have
him.
an attack that will do that. A large straight would put you at 2, which means you'd have to do an undefendable.
Okay,
But
I guess
no, because
maybe
you
I'm
could
overspeed slightly.
Activate the heal
Knowing
bot
that
off
he's
for
already played
defense.
Huzzah.
Yeah, I gotta throw all that back.
I don't know if there's any other cards he could have access to.
1, 2, 2, 4, 4. Not better. Let's throw it all again. Need 6s.
Be a real bummer to see
Nope.
that.
It really
right
wants
there.
me to do Scorch. It's the only thing it's going to give me. So let's attempt to activate a Scorch.
Okay.
So I'm not happy to
You
see
got
the
it, man.
man
So I'll
coming at me here
cap my
with
Fire
Scorch.
Mastery, inflict a burn, and it's 6 defendable damage.
So I'm burnt. Okay, 1 damage.
And this is the end of it right here.
I gain 1 synth. And I inflict 1 nanite.
So Pyro
and then-
absolutely has to remove that nanite.
You said
during second
6,
main phase,
right?
Or they're donezo.
For Scorch?
That's correct.
Yeah, I'll take the 6.
She's going to leave me at 8.
All right.
Or
Pass the turn.
no, I think I
Okay.
end up at 8 after
Activate
the
Nanobot.
Yeah, activate Nanobot, exactly.
Good game.
So throughout that game, I felt like I was under a ton of pressure. I felt like I got started on the back foot. I had a total inability to really get my synth engine going the way that I tend to. So while I did ultimately turn the table and generate a decent lead, the position from which I started, I never really truly felt like, okay, I have this in hand. I went from being desperation mode to kind of like, okay, maybe I won't die. But there was never a point in that game where I was like, I clearly have it in hand, until I literally hit the point where I clearly had it in hand. So we're going to go into game 2 here.
It didn't matter.
Yeah, the double overclocks. But I mean, what are the odds of that? When you what status effect did me on turn 1, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, when you what status affects me on turn 2, I was like,
Yeah.
oh no.
I rolled a 6 for initiative. I'll cut the deck here.
It's probably going to win. Hang on, I got a 2. All right. I'll
right.
cut it.
So
Well-
going into this matchup, this is one of the more dangerous matchups for the Shadow Thief. I like to think of Shadow Thief play in 3 phases, where you're trying to build up your hand, then you're trying to build up your CP, and then you're trying to apply damage and kill your opponent with the resources that you accrued during phase 1 and 2. Pyromancer is maybe the best card hero in the entire game for just dealing so much damage so fast that the Shadow Thief can't keep up with it. So this is a matchup I was concerned with. Very concerned.
I'm gonna burn.
So
City
starting on
Strike
turn
to
1, I
gain
get to
CP.
upgrade Cardicopia, which
Throw some
is
dice.
probably my all-time favorite play out of any play in all of Dice Throne, is a turn 1
2,
Cardicopia
3, 4,
into rolling
1,
a
2,
bunch
3,
of
4,
5s.
huh? Well, it's not very scary at this point in the game, is it?
So I
Gain
did
3 CP.
roll
I
a
would welcome
natural
a
small
small
straight on that
little
opening
bit
turn.
of damage.
But given how
You'll
little
probably do more
CP I
damage
have,
back to me.
I
That
would
doesn't
be
feel very good.
attacking the Pyro for like 2 damage, and he'd be able to potentially do that or more back to me. So
I
that's
was really
just-
hoping to
you
see some cards there. You know
Can't
what?
take that roll.
Let's throw them all back.
I do not like doing this. Throwing all the dice back
Okay.
on roll 2.
I'm gonna keep the 5s. I'm gonna keep that 6. I'm gonna throw the 2 daggers back. And I'm gonna present for Cardicopia.
So the 6 is important because on the upgrade of Cardicopia,
All right,
if you roll
you
a
got
6, you force an
3
opponent to discard
bags
1
and a
at random.
6.
This is one of
3
the
cards.
best weapons the Shadow
3
Thief has
cards
against
and a
stuff
6.
like
Yeah, so
Pyromancer,
I'll
stripping
draw
the
3,
resources away.
gain a CP, and you'll have to discard 1 at random. If that goes through.
All right, you're good to lock in.
Okay, so I'm gonna gain a CP. I'm gonna draw 3 cards. I guess.
I like rolling a dice.
Well, if it's a 5 or a 6, I'll re-roll it. I'll start on your left is 1,
So this is truly random.
so it's a 2. That one. Yep.
One more time.
That doesn't feel super impactful.
Not the best card to force him to this card.
Second main phase.
I would have preferred to see
I'm
him
going to play Dagger Strike.
This is another one of my favorite upgrades in Shadow Thief.
Can't
go wrong with a 0 cost upgrade.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites with this guy. And then I guess I passed you. Go ahead.
All right.
This is by far my favorite character. I love everything about the Shadow Thief.
I like Shadow Thief as well, but I can't bring myself to play him in tournaments because I don't like that not knowing are the sixes going to show up on my defense or not.
That's fair.
I hate that random aspect. Right,
so the other part of phase 1 that I didn't mention when I did my quick rundown is while you're building up your hand, you want to be seeding it with the dice fixing cards and the pull in case of emergency type.
You said I will spend 1 CP to upgrade to Fireball
like
2.
6 like Samesies.
And then I'm going to roll. Actually, I might as well. You never know what I'm going to wind up with. I might as well upgrade my Burning Soul as well.
Okay.
So double upgrades
I don't want to roll it, but
on the
I wound
pyro.
up on it last time.
There isn't a lot of incentive for the pyro to try to sit on a whole mess of CP unless they actually have one of those action cards.
1, 1, 4, 5, 5. There I am with 5s.
And even just being able to bluff it seriously constrains my ability to do what I need to do. If my opponent has cards in hand and is showing 1 CP, I really can't commit dice manipulation cards to my defense roll, because if they happen to have that helping hand and I waste those resources, that can be catastrophic to my long-term ability to prosecute the game.
I think I'm going to keep a 4 or 5. Now I got 1, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we'll keep the 5s.
He sounds so defeated to have to
And of
accept
course I don't get any more. Not a great start. 1, 1, 2, 5, 5. Let's Burning Soul.
Now, I was really relieved he didn't get 3 5s there.
I'll gain
the
4
burn
Fire
would have
Mastery
been
and deal
bad.
2 collateral.
I'll take 2 damage. I'm at 48.
I don't think I had any way to deal with the burn.
Guess I should have just rolled for 5s from the start. That's what it wanted me to do. Pass the turn.
And you're at 4 Fire Mastery, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Draw my card. Gain a coin.
So I'm getting close to the point where I might be able to turn the corner and start just dealing damage.
I'm going to go into roll phase.
Not there yet, though. Still got to build up a little bit. This is not the kind of roll I like to see.
And these straights just keep coming at me, don't they?
If I'm going to go for a dagger strike, I like to be able to lock it in off the first roll, see 3 of those daggers, because the Shadow Thief only has
Too bad you're
2
not playing
instances of
Barbarian
daggers
right now.
as opposed to the typical 3 for their basic attack. Like a lot of other heroes do, Shadow Thief misses their basic attack at a higher percentage than other heroes.
I'm going to keep the daggers.
This is risky. Sigh of relief there.
All right, so 1, 1, 2, 4, 5. I'm going to keep all 3 daggers and throw the 4, 5 back and pick up 1 more dagger. So I'm going to present 1, 1, 1, 2, 5.
So I don't get to inflict a poison with my dagger strike, which is disappointing.
You're good to activate.
All right, so I'll gain a CP.
A 4 dagger strike, that's only 6 damage.
I roll a
Pyromancer
card,
can
so I'll draw a
really
card.
make it feel bad
And
for
that's
choosing
4
to do this
daggers, so
attack.
that's 6 damage
They
coming
roll.
at you, defendable.
Good on their defense.
All right, rolling defense. That's going to be 3 back to you. And I'll spend 1 CP to not this time to take none.
Sure.
So he takes nothing. I take 3. punishing.
That seems like a wise play. How many cards you got in hands?
Uno.
Okay, second main phase. I'm going to pay 2 to play triple up and draw 3. I'm going to play Vegas Baby. Hit a 1.
The luck here is just crazy.
Isn't great. Gain 1 CP.
I mean, not
I'm
the
gonna sell
one on
Counter
Vegas
Strike.
Baby, but like triple up into Vegas Baby is
Gain a
really
CP.
lucky.
I am going to sell Shifty Strike.
That is questionable. The
and
small
then
keeping
I'm
the small
gonna
straight with Shadow Thief is something that you should always think about a little bit.
Spend 2
Getting small straights with Shadow Thief is really easy, and
on
in
what status effects and wipe your board.
late game mode, even the small straight can do pretty significant damage.
Seems familiar.
Yeah.
It's hard to know when to commit that what status effects here. Because if I get burned now I'm in big trouble. But
Then I'm gonna pass. Go ahead.
keeping the Fire Mastery down,
All right.
if I let
Nothing
the
to resolve an upkeep.
Pyromancer build up their
Income.
phase 1 plan, building up Fire Mastery, they're going to get to their end state and damage applications
Go ahead and go to the roll phase.
way faster than I am. So devoting some resources to slowing them
See,
down
we got
is critical in this
2,
matchup.
3, 4, 6, 6. And I have no Fire Mastery. So straight doesn't seem particularly
It would be really
great.
nice to be able to apply a poison with that Dagger Strike there, though. Seeing as how my opponent is still at 50.
I don't think I want to chase 2 6s though. Let's throw those back. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second roll. I'll attempt to activate the weakest possible ignite.
Weakest possible.
You
That's
can
the
activate
technical
the
term.
weakest possible ignite.
8 defendable damage coming at you.
8
Remember that
defendable
phrasing.
damage. All right, I'm gonna roll 4 dice for my shadow defense.
Okay.
Nothing. Not a poison, not a bet, nothing.
I will not get anything useful, which is annoying. And then I'm gonna spend 1 and play not this time and take 6 off of your 8. So I'll take 2. Correct?
Not this time. Such an impactful.
That is correct. All right. Second main, I will play nothing. Pass the turn.
All right, I'm gonna draw my card. I'm gonna gain CP.
So this is getting to the point of the game where the Shadow Thief needs to start doing some stuff. Like we're 4 turns in, looked at a bunch of cards, got an okay pile of CP, but now it's time to start trying to
I'm gonna
actually
sell
put
Shadow
the burn on.
Dance. I'm gonna throw some dice.
I do like the Shadow Dance upgrade in Dice Throne Adventure a lot.
1 1 2 3 5.
So there's Dagger Strike here if I want it.
I'm gonna throw the bag back. I'm gonna attempt to lock in Dagger
Perfect.
Strike.
So this shows off a lot of the versatility of the Dagger Strike.
You are good to activate, sir.
The damage itself,
All right, I'm gonna gain a
4.
CP.
not very good. But I'm
There's
going to
gonna
draw a
be
card.
4 damage coming at
And
you.
I'm gonna gain a CP.
draw a card,
And I'm going to inflict a poison.
and I'm gonna inflict you with a poison.
So it attacks across multiple
All right,
vectors.
rolling defense. Oh, I hate to see 4s on defense. I gain
okay.
1 Fire
4s on
Mastery
defense
and
are
deal 1 damage back. I will take the 4. Man,
such
is
low
this
damage.
round 3? We're at 42 to 46, or is this round 4?
I think I've done
Yeah, so this is what I was just talking about, how this is 3 turns in and he just got his first damage. It's ridiculous. And really, that's a terrible and dangerous start against the Pyromancer. To basically give him a 3-turn head start on the damage race, that's crazy. Like right now,
Let's take a
as
poison
the
damage.
thief, I'm in a
Let's cool
tremendous
off.
amount of danger.
It's income. I'm going to spend 2 and triple up.
I'm a big fan of that play.
Having just done it myself.
I'm going to play warm up and gain just the 1 fire mastery. I'm unfortunately going to sail Pyroblast 3
So
to gain 1 CP,
I
which I'll
definitely-
then use to play double up.
I like seeing this kind of stuff from my opponent, like having to like churn for resources. Now, admittedly, getting to draw
Strong turn 3, man.
6 cards in 1 turn is pretty scary. That's an intimidating
Not
play
yet.
to have any opponent dig that deep into their deck in 1 turn. But this, again, we got to remember the specifics of the matchup. Pyromancer is not a character that has their, like, the value and strength of that character is not based on trying to have the biggest grip possible. It's in just turn and burn, just put damage on the opponent. And the fact that my opponent is having to dig through resources tells me they don't have the most damage output focused hand.
3,
Which asks the question, well, then what do they have?
5. Well, that is just not pretty. Let's keep it 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That looks better. Let's attempt a much better ignite.
Remember the worst ever ignite? The weakest possible.
Okay, man, you have a much better ignite.
Yeah.
All right, that's 14 defendable damage coming your way.
14 defendable damage. All right, I'll roll 4.
I'm really hoping for
defense.
6s. I don't get any.
Yikes.
Now I look over at my opponent, who has cards in hand and has CP. I really can't. I can't risk using dice manipulation to
Yikes.
step into the shadows and have my opponent helping hand me here, or tip it.
All right. I
Couldn't
guess I'm going to
afford it.
inflict a poison and eat 14.
Unless
Anything else?
No.
Okay.
I'm taking a poison. What did that put you down to?
28?
so. This
Yeah.
is the danger of greed.
Because I was
Yeah,
at 32.
28. All right.
So my opponent here's the number 28 here.
I just, I'm actually going to spend the 1 remaining CP to
Uh-oh.
play the Huzzah and roll to hopefully reduce that even further.
Well, hang on here then. Let me put my health back to where we were.
So I go back to 42 from 28.
Which would add 3 more damage.
Now there's
Okay.
17 damage incoming. Only now
So
I'm not
that's
helpless.
15 incoming?
Yep.
I'm not helpless because
all right,
now my
I'm going
opponent
to
has
spend
0
5
CP.
CP and play Wild Shadow and not that card and 6 it. And I'm going to turn 2 of these into 6s.
And this is where the game is kind of over here. After the match, I talked to my opponent, and Argon even said, like, I got so tilted after making that misplay. He does have Helping Hand in hand, so he was prepared to stop this entire series of events. And instead, this massive attack. I mean, I'd already spun my health dial. I was already at 28.
I assume you don't have any effects since you don't have any CP.
And now this massive attack is just completely
Yep, I have no
stopped.
CP.
Okay.
This also has the added negative effect of putting him at 0 CP going into my turn. which means I can push a little harder. I can go 3 rerolls and not have to stress out.
Second main, will do nothing. I will pass.
This play was
Alright, I'm going to draw a card.
unfortunately an error for my opponent.
Game CP.
And it was kind of the opening I needed to start to run away with this game. And to be fair, once you get tilted, once you make a misplay it's hard to get your head back in the game. Like, it affects your, not only that play,
many cards
it
you got
affects
in
your
hand?
decision making throughout the rest of the game.
2?
Because in
I
your
have
head,
2 cards.
I want to do something like that again, and it
I'm going to sell one more time.
Reroutes
I'm gonna get up to 2
resources
CP, and then I'm
from
going to
play
spend
analysis
it. And
to
I'm going to play
rumination.
card trick and make you discard a card randomly, and then I'm going to draw 2 because I'm in the shadows.
I was considering
So
card
I'll-
trick earlier when he had
Alright.
only 1 card in hand.
The card
and
on your
decided to wait
left
until I
is
was in the
evens.
shadows.
Card on your right is odds. It's odds.
Helping hand.
And there it goes. So now I feel even more comfortable.
I'm going to go into roll phase.
Like, he had exactly what he needed to stop me dodging that massive attack, and now I forced it out of his hand without him being able to use it.
1-1-1-3-3. I'm going to hold
Really
on to the
strong series of plays
1-1-1.
for me.
I'm going to throw back the
A
3-3.
lot of luck there, too.
I'm going to hold on to a 2, and I'm going to throw back a 3. And I'm going to present a 5 dagger strike.
All right.
So 5
So
dagger
against
rolling
strike is not
defense.
the most
Sure.
impactful power here, but it's what the dice gave me.
Useless fire mastery. 3
I
return damage.
needed an
I will
outlet to
take
be able
8.
to use that
I'm
sneak
going to
attack.
pop a sneak attack.
As quick as, you want to use sneak attack as quick as possible, both because your
Ah,
opponent
yeah.
can maybe do something to it, but more
I'm gonna add
importantly,
1.
it's stack limit 1, and it really sucks when you gain a sneak
That
attack
felt
and
bad.
can't gain it.
Second main phase, I'm going to spend that CP I just gained to play double up and draw 2 cards.
This is where the Shadow Thief starts to do Shadow Thief things.
I'm going to sell Poison Wound.
I did think about playing Poison Wound there, trying to max out the poison, but it's just 2 CP for the poison this late in the game.
And then I
almost
guess
never
I'm
play
going
that
to
card.
pass and the shadows will clear.
Almost
All
never
right.
play
Taking
poison.
2 damage. Cooling off. Income. Roll phase.
Man, the
got
refocus chase with this new camera is awful.
1,
I have to do something
2,
about that.
4, 5, 6. Let's keep 4, 5,
So, if you're the pyromancer
We
at
got
this point,
4,
it's
4, 5, 5,
starting to feel like
6.
desperation mode. Like, you see the Shadow Thief creeping up there in terms of pocket change. I've got a big grip. He's got to just start putting damage on me. Like, now. Burn
Let's
would be
keep
good.
just the 4, 5
The
again.
types of damage that he can... any damage that can avoid shadows would
Now
be
we
good.
got 1, 2, 4, 4, 5. Golly, that's not good. I guess I'll try again. And let's throw the 2 4s back. 1, 1, 2, 5, 6. I guess it's a pyroblast. I'll attempt to lock in pyroblast.
Another Pyroblast.
All right. That,
Oh, I
Yeah,
guess
I don't have anything to
it was
say
game
about
1
that.
where the upgrade was hitting me over and over again.
All right. That is a 6 on the rider, so it's 6 defendable and a knockdown.
Not a big fan of knockdown.
Alright, knockdown. Roll my defense. Shadow defense. Continue my streak of no 6s on the defense. So I will take, what was it, 6?
No 6s on the defense, ever.
Yep.
Okay.
Unless I make them.
Oh, and knockdown is skip income, right? No, pay 2 or skip offense. Okay.
No, knockdown is
I get knocked down
pay
and concussion
2,
confused
yeah, or skip
all
off.
the time. I don't know why.
And then I'll pass the turn. Nothing second man.
Okay.
So here's when I've got a bunch of different cards in hand. I need to start putting damage on. Because if I let this go on long enough, the Pyromancer absolutely will burn me out.
To transfer the knockdown to you.
Arguably, saving
I'm gonna play
transference
getting
for
paid.
burn is a line of play that should have been considered there. However, my opponent has
I'm
0
gonna throw dice.
CP. They're already under like a bunch of pressure in terms of resources.
Keep those
So
6s.
I felt like rather than me just paying 2 to get rid of the knockdown,
I'm going to
forcing
present
my
Shadow
opponent to have
Dance
to deal
after
with it.
2. Well, you have 0 combat points. Yeah. No, I'm going to chase the ult.
So
Okay.
I tried to present.
Didn't get there,
for Shadow
but
Dance,
I'm going to play Tippet.
But when I realized my opponent had no CP, it's like, okay, well, if they can't mess with my dice, I might as well
So
chase.
I'm going to ult. Unless you got something with
The
your
risk
0 CP.
is I chase the ult, I don't roll 2 more 6s, and then my opponent
Yeah, I
has
do not.
some way
All
to
right.
manipulate me
So I'll
out of
gain
the Shadow
3.
Dance, and I scratch.
Which put me up to 4 CP. I'll gain Shadows.
This right here is my
and then
first
it
ult
is
of the
9,
entire DTWC
Undefendable.
for 9 undefendable,
All
which
right,
is
take
not
a 9,
great.
and you are in shadows.
Got you at 25. Second main phase, I have no actions, and I didn't start the turn in Shadows, so it remains, and I pass to you.
So this is the thing about
Taking
Shadow
2
Thief. He's good
poison.
at a lot of things. His ultimate's kind of weak unless you're already
Cooling
at a max
off.
CP.
Income,
Then it's great.
drawing a card. I guess I'll play Vegas, baby,
Seems like a good top deck.
and gain 1 CP. Yeah, not if you only gain 1 CP. You are in shadows.
I am in Shadows.
Anything.
So this is a real ugly.
Might as
trap
well
I've got
pay
my
the 2
opponent in.
CP to clear the knockdown.
They've got to put their resources into getting the knockdown if they want to be able to do anything at all.
Gonna keep the 3.
And because I'm in
Sixes.
shadows, that's another massive barrier to them being able to do anything at all. And they could trace Fire Mastery. They could try to apply Burn to me here. So it's not it's not a useless turn, but it's
I have
got to be a
nothing
frustrating
to activate
combination.
after the 3rd roll. I will pass back to you.
I mean, that's
Draw a
practically
card.
a whiff. Like you get time walked by
I
that
gain
kind
a
of thing.
coin.
Now, if he had some way to remove that shadows, that changes the calculation entirely. And that's the thing about Shadow Thief. You're extremely fragile to status removal, especially bye-bye. I have nightmares about that card.
I'm gonna sell Pickpocket to get up to 6 CP.
It's not a card I generally
then
like
I'm
to
gonna
sell
throw some dice.
this deep in the game. I'm not trying to use Pickpocket to gain CP anymore.
There's only a couple upgrades left for you to draw. You're gonna find it sooner or later.
Yeah, you got. Oh man. I'm gonna keep 2, 3, 5. Throw back 3, 6. Wow, 2, 2, 3, 3, 5.
This is a dangerous combination of dice here. There's no Cardicopia. There's no clear Cardicopia. There's no clear Dagger Strike. Pickpocket's the only
Ooh,
thing
this
that
might be bad.
taking a big risk here,
Oh,
and it paid off.
didn't get what I wanted, but I got a small version of it, so I'm gonna present a short straight. Unless you got something to say.
You
about
are
it.
good to lock in.
Okay, so I'll gain 3 CP, which will put me at 9, which means 5 incoming damage, which is not very impressive.
Now the damage here is less important than the CP.
Alright, roll my defense. I will deal 2 back and gain 1 Fire Mastery.
So the shadows are going to clear at the end of my turn.
Oh, you were dealing 5. I took 9. I don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just saw your health dial, and I'm like, wait, I have you at 18.
Yeah. I did your full CP dial.
Yeah,
instead of
I
half your
forgot that this
CP
happened.
dial.
But yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay,
Argon
yeah.
took damage as if I
Again,
hit him
I
with a
feel like
large
this is
straight,
too
even though I
tight
hit
to
him
be
with a
cheating
small
you.
straight. So
I guess
we
I've
caught
got
it and we
some
corrected
health, but you can
but
change that pretty quickly. Okay, end of my turn. The shadows will clear. I have no second main phase actions. It's your turn.
Taking 2 damage.
So
I
he
don't
really
know
needs
how
to wallop
close
me
it is.
here.
I'm cooling off. Feeling like I've pretty much got to ultimate to get back in this, or stun lock you.
31 to
which
16
is
right
gonna
now.
be incredibly difficult to do.
Like you can hear him saying,
Um,
stun lock would be helpful and ultimate loot would be
I'm
helpful.
gonna
But these are
sail,
Hail Mary
ignite
plays.
2,
Like the game's starting to slip
and
away from the
upgrade
pyro.
combustion.
But because of how much damage the pyro can put out,
Guess I could
I
combust
do
you
not
a couple
ever
times.
feel safe as the Shadow Thief. Like you're flirting with disaster at all times.
Let's. Oh my gosh. 5, 5, 5, 3, 6. I don't need any burning souls.
It's had a hunk of burning soul all day
That
long.
is garbage. Let me keep 5, 6. Actually, let me keep 3, 5, 6. I roll 4s all the time, all day long. Let's roll one now. One, 3, 5, 6, 6. Let's throw back 5, 6. Now I roll 4s. Oh my god! That is a whiff, I believe.
That's devastating.
Yep, that's nothing.
So that's
Pass it
essentially
back to you, sir.
2 turns.
All right.
The knockdown, Shadow's turn, and this turn.
I definitely feel a little safer after that one.
That you can hear me say it there, like, oh, okay, maybe
Holy
I am doing
smokes.
all right.
You're at 0 CP. Yeah, I'm gonna chase 6s here.
3/5 of the way to the ultimate there. 4/5. Last roll.
I think the dice have chosen their player.
I'm gonna spend 2 to play So Wild, and I'm gonna present a second ult.
This is my second ult in the entire tournament.
Yeah.
They both have it in this game.
And I believe
Sorry,
that. Oh, it's not quite game, is it? That would put me at 1.
So yeah, 11.
No, you're going to gain 3 people. Yeah,
that's-
that's game.
Exactly. Yeah, it's exactly.
So exactly to 16.
All right, man.
Yep.
Good game. Holy cow.
Yep.
All right. So overall, the gameplay in this series I felt was a little bit atypical on my Artificer. Generally, I've talked before about how I like to upgrade Shockbot as quick as possible and just kind of spam the reliable Spanner Strike. And in this game, I just didn't have the opportunity to do that in Game 1. That what status effects play from Argon on his turn 1 really threw a monkey wrench into my plans, and there was a tremendous amount of luck for me to be able to hit double overclock and get those free bot activations to essentially negate that very strong turn 1 play. In Game 2, I really think it comes down to the Huzzah play. Argon said afterwards, and I mentioned, I think, while we were playing, that he got a little tilted after that happened, realizing that was an error. And once any amount of tilt creeps into your head, it becomes kind of hard to recover. The series of turns after that moment, between the knockdown Shadow's turn and rolling the whiff, that's not his best game. Obviously, this guy's one of the best dice throwing players in the world, and he's a very tough competitor. So I really appreciate the sportsmanship and the opportunity to kind of test myself against this high-level competition in this tournament. But unfortunately, to quote Argon, the dice have chosen their player, and I had a lot of luck on my side in this whole series. Until next time, go win some games.